of the top priorities of AWS is security for the customers. Instead of covering one specific or a few specific compliance standards in the class, we define a compliance framework that combines all the common and very frequent elements from all these compliance standards. I like to show students how to do things. So we have modules in which we describe the security properties, but more than describing, I think that the students like when they see how to do it. So I like to do live demos and show how they can change the settings and make sure that their environments are secure. Many students, when they arrive, especially when they are like new customers, they don't feel comfortable about security in the cloud. After attending this class, they learn how to configure security, they learn which options they have, they learn how to use them, so they feel more confident after they leave the class.
Hi, I'm Sunil Yu, creator of the Cyber Defense Matrix. The endpoint is often seen as the front line against many cybersecurity threats. To help manage and secure the endpoint, AWS Marketplace provides many cloud-native endpoint security tools. On the preventative side, AWS Marketplace has a wide range of independent software vendors who provide endpoint protection capabilities, including having an up-to-date device inventory, enforcing configuration compliance, finding and managing vulnerabilities, and preventing malware from taking root on the endpoint. But prevention is never perfect, so it's important to consider capabilities that give you real-time and historical visibility to quickly detect, respond to, and recover from endpoint incidents. Tools in the category of endpoint detection and response, or EDR, help detect unauthorized activities, conduct forensic-level analysis, and facilitate incident response activities to purge intrusions. When combined with the right threat intelligence, these tools can also help you hunt efficiently on your endpoint. Keep in mind that EDR tools don't run on their own, and you need capable administration that can put the tools to use to hunt and to accelerate investigations into security events. Hi, I'm Sunil Yu, creator of the Cyber Defense Matrix. Security is a shared responsibility between AWS and you. While AWS is responsible for security of the cloud, it is up to you to ensure that you're keeping everything that you do on AWS secure. You are responsible for security in the cloud. To help you with that responsibility, AWS Marketplace has several cloud security posture management independent software vendors that offer tools to help you continuously monitor your usage of AWS, identifying gaps between your desired security posture and your actual security posture to quickly address any gaps. Cloud security posture management tools complement cloud workload protection platforms. While CWPP secures workloads, CSPM tools help you secure the infrastructure on which you run your workloads. Specifically, CSPM tools detect cloud infrastructure misconfigurations that can lead to compliance violations and data leakage. Using AWS APIs, these tools can monitor for security or policy violations and give you the option to quickly remediate any violations to bring your environment back into compliance. Many CSPM tools come pre-built with compliance libraries that reflect common standards or best practices, such as CIS benchmarks, SOC 2, PCI, NIST 853, and HIPAA to verify that configurations are compliant. Through CSPM solutions, you can quickly automate the implementation and adherence to security best practices.
Security has come a long way over the years. When it comes to your business, firewalls, network security, and automated data detection are just some of the ways you can protect it. But doing it all yourself can be difficult and costly. You need the resources to consistently protect your data and systems and navigate evolving regulations and compliance requirements. This is a challenge for any business. That's where Amazon Web Services comes in. Our security solutions help ensure that your data is accessible for the people you want to have access to it and protected from those who you don't. Our cloud is secure by design, allowing you to gain control and confidence to run your business. And we're with you every step of the way, helping and training you and your team to better protect your business. Keeping your data safe is smart business. And no matter how quickly cybersecurity evolves, we're helping you keep up to keep you protected. That's the power of cloud-based security. That's the power of AWS.
I'm co-founder and VP of Engineering of Cloud Conformity. Cloud Conformity is a cloud security posture management, which essentially is a tool, a SaaS tool, that helps AWS customers to essentially get visibility into their infrastructure. In terms of serverless best practices, we tend to follow the well-architected framework, always keeping the security in mind, cost optimization, performance efficiency, reliability, and operational excellence. So trying to use this principle of less privilege into a definition of role for a Lambda function. That's the first thing. Second thing in terms of best practice is being able to ship your code often. You can actually do that very quickly, multiple times a day, just because you're going to make a very small change into one particular Lambda function. So the kind of blast radius, the impact is going to be very minimal. So that's kind of the operational excellence side of things. And then in terms of cost optimization, making sure that the Lambda function is going to be provisioned enough to be correctly functioning, but in the same time, making sure that the size is right, so the Lambda function is not over provisioned, so you can keep the costs low.
Ayan, hello everyone. Good evening and happy Friday. We are now live and welcome to the second episode of the Siklab Igniter series, co-presented by Edukasyon.ph and AWS Siklab Pilipinas. I am Atcha Abe, an AWS Siklab influencer and the technical community manager of Edukasyon.ph, and I will be your host for tonight. To give you an introduction, Edukasyon.ph is an education technology platform in the Philippines, empowering millions of Gen Z students ages 13 to 24 to make self-aware education decisions that lead to a future and life. Edukasyon.ph has worked with hundreds of partners, schools, corporations, and foundations to enable them to reach and engage with its student community along the journey from education to career. And along with that, I would also like to welcome Amazon Web Services, or AWS Siklab Pilipinas. We uplift fellow developers and professionals in the Philippines with industry leaders all over the world sharing their expertise in the field. And I'm very happy to join the AWS Influencer Program with the goal of helping students, young professionals, and career shifters explore their opportunities in the cloud through the Siklab Igniter series. Ayan, and I believe most of you are also one of our very, very active and engaging participants from yesterday's event. And also we have here our AWS Restart students. So let us know that you're one of those who I have mentioned. If you're an active AWS Siklab community member, an AWS Restart student, or it's your first time joining our event, let us know by saying hi, saying your name, where you're from, what if you're currently a student or a professional, let us know. So from that way we would also know how many students are here with us tonight, how many developers are also excited to learn about this career in security. Ayan, so let me check my comments. Hello, Jamilo is from Dubai. He is a system administrator. Hello, welcome. How about the others? So don't forget to also invite your friends, tag them here we're also live in our Facebook group. So go ahead and tag them there, share this live. This is a free event with and e-certificate. All right, I'm currently seeing a web developer, BSIT student, IT administrator, software developer. Hello, I'm Benedict, an aspiring career shifter and AWS Restart Batch 3 scholar. Welcome. Ayan, we have here Sheila, BS Information Technology, fourth year student from Neva Ecija University of Science and Technology. I'm also seeing your comments in Facebook, so let me know, say hi there as well. We have here John Errol from Makati, a software developer. We have John, a support engineer, currently upskilling. We have here Alicia, also an AWS Restart graduate, so that's good to hear. First time, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Silak, is that correct? Fourth year BSIT, we have here Alfred from the Philippines, MIS officer. Ayan, keep those comments coming. We have here Ryan, a second year BS Computer Science student from St. Louis University. Ayan, welcome everyone. Again, don't forget to invite your friends, your classmates, your fellow developers, and learn from us for free today. And this is live. So if you have any questions later, just keep them on the, put them on the chat and our speaker will accommodate them later. Okay, and before we begin, we are happy to also announce that we have over 700 registrations for this event, and we can definitely feel your excitement for tonight. So our team is currently admitting the participants. So hopefully we reach that number of registrations and also our live participants. Okay, all right, let's see. Again, we're also live on Facebook. And if you're currently watching from Facebook, you can also share the Zoom link so you can also put in your comments there. And again, welcome to the very first Siklab Igniter series, also known as SIS. So if this is your first time, this is a new tech series hosted by our very own AWS Siklab influencers. So we have, aside from I have, we have other influencers, so stay tuned for that. We will always post their events as well in our AWS Siklab Facebook page and in their communities and platforms where we bring to people to uplift fellow developers and professionals in the Philippines, specifically by learning more about AWS technologies, careers, and of course, opportunities. So stay tuned for that for more events by following my socials to be posted on the screen right now. So if you want to learn more and have more free events, have access to our free events, you can always check my socials here on the slide to be shown. See, there you go. So you can also, I'm also posting it in our chat. You can follow the following platforms. I'm also on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So for this event is recorded, so you can always look back at it. I will look back. I will upload it also on my YouTube channel. I also do tech tutorial videos. I do web development, information security, database systems, networking, automation, and I also do entertainment content. All right, so again, this event is all for free, and it comes with e-certificate and is co-presented by Amazon Web Services and AWS Siklab Pilipinas. All right. Again, this event is co-presented by AWS and AWS Siklab Pilipinas. And if you want more every week, every month, every day, it's very possible with AWS Siklab Pilipinas, and we always want to make sure that you can learn for free and get up-to-date knowledge with cloud technology. As long as you join our community by scanning this QR code, we will also put the link in our Facebook Live and on our Zoom. So again, join our community by following our socials here. We're everywhere. We're on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram. We're also on TikTok, and you may watch our full episodes on the Community Ignite series and Siklab Igniter series on the EdTV YouTube channel. All right. Okay, going back to the comments, I'm currently seeing more attendees joining our Zoom room, also our live participants on our Facebook page. So again, don't forget to invite your friends so they can learn more about our topic today. And of course, I believe most of you are heard this role in security, an associate security solutions architect. So I'm also definitely excited to learn more about that today with our speaker. And if you watched our first episode in SIS, we talked about the introduction to cybersecurity. And if it's your first time learning about the field of cybersecurity, we have a lot of opportunities, and one of them is knowing how to become an associate security solutions architect. And with that, I'm definitely excited to introduce our speaker for today. So if you're very curious to know the different security careers that you can take, did you know that you can also be an associate security solutions architect? So today we will be inspired by Kevin Lowe's journey to becoming one at Amazon Web Services. Kevin is a cybersecurity professional helping customers build securely on AWS. He is also a career shifter who finished his bachelor's degree on human, social, and political sciences at the University of Cambridge. He currently has 8, you heard that right, he has 8 AWS certification and is serving as an associate security solutions architect at Amazon Web Services. Let's give our warm virtual welcome to Kevin Lowe. Hi, Kevin.
Hi. All right. All looks good. All sounds good. Terrific. Let me share my screen. Let me do that for you. There we go. All right. Screen all showing okay? Terrific. Looks fine. If anyone can't see the screen, put it in the chat. All right, terrific. So hi, everyone. My name is Kevin. Thank you so much, Atcha, for the great introduction. Really excited to be here. So I'm an AWS Security Solutions Architect. I've been at AWS for about 2.5 years. And like what Atcha said, I help our customers of all sizes build across ASEAN, build securely on the AWS cloud. So for today, I'll be sharing about my path to becoming a security solutions architect in AWS, and also some of the other career options that are available in the cybersecurity space. So I want this to be as interactive as possible. And I want to, if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat or unmute yourself and ask. I'm happy to answer it. I'll be talking for about 30 minutes and then about 15 minutes at the end for questions. So one thing I remember when I was a student, not too long ago, hopefully, I really didn't know what jobs were out there. So what I really want to do today is I want to give you a whole list of different things that you can begin to think about and explore to begin to see what's the best fit for your career. There's a lot of jobs out there and a lot of different things you can do. So don't just focus on the solutions architect piece of it. There's lots of things. So to kick things off, now, what does a security solutions architect do? A solutions architect is a very unique role. It's when I tell people I'm a solutions architect, they usually don't know. And it's even more so in AWS. So I want to walk through this role in detail with some questions as well. And leave some time for questions. At a very high level, as a solutions architect, I work to solve customers' challenging security problems, be it technical or people problems. It's a very diverse role where I work on many different tasks and many different jobs, where I wear many different hats in AWS. So how do I start my day, right? I start my day with my dog looking through my emails and checking the latest cybersecurity news. He then goes to write code and he writes code and CloudFormation templates as well. No, I'm just kidding. My dog doesn't do any of that, but he is very cute, and I always use every opportunity I can to show him off. So when I talk about security on AWS, it's always important to start the shared responsibility model, right? So the shared responsibility model essentially dictates what responsibility each party has when building on AWS. From an AWS perspective, AWS handles the security of the cloud. What this means is that AWS handles protects the physical infrastructure, the servers that run all the services that are offered in the AWS cloud. So this includes ensuring that there are security guards outside the data centers, that no one unauthorized can enter the data centers, that the networking, the physical infrastructure, they are all secure, and that they are all secure for you to build on. As a customer, or as the customers you'll help in the future, you or them will be responsible for security in the cloud. So what this means is that things like configurations, identity and access management, choosing whether you want to encrypt data, that is your responsibility or the customer's responsibility. So my first main job is speaking to customers. The bulk of my time is spent talking to customers and ensuring that they stay secure on their side of the shared responsibility model and communicating to them how AWS helps them be secure on our side of the shared responsibility model. So I talk to customers. So solutions architect, right? A lot of other companies will refer to a solutions architect as a pre-sales engineer or a sales support, whatever you want to call it, a product specialist. At the end of the day, in AWS in particular, a solutions architect is part of the sales team. So what happens is that the account managers or the demand generation reps, the sales development reps will maybe speak to a CEO, maybe and get their buy-in on building on the AWS cloud. So let's say, for example, they want to run a machine learning workload on the AWS cloud. And then the CEO wants to do it. He's bought in. But maybe the CTO, CIO, compliance, the risk team, they may have a technical question, right? So if it's just a generic technical question like, okay, how do I build, get started with machine learning with SageMaker? A solutions architect will be called in, a generalist solutions architect will be called in to answer the question. But if it's a technical question that's security related, the generalist solutions architect will bring me in. So once I'm brought into the engagement, I speak to customers and work backwards to understand how to meet their needs. The initial call is often very exploratory. So remember, so one thing to remember is that the cloud is very, very new. I mean, it only really kicked off in 2005, 2006. So often customers don't really know what they don't know. And I need to dive very deep into their needs to find out how to best help them and their business. So there's a lot of asking them questions, asking them about their requirements. And this is where having good people and conversation skills is important. It's not just asking questions and finding out the answer, but thinking beyond the answer itself to try and understand what's the deeper or underlying thing the customer is trying to accomplish and trying to help them make that into a reality. So that's the first meeting, right? So after I understand the problem, during the second meeting, I usually come back with a couple of potential solutions. Maybe we go to a whiteboard, work out a possible architecture. This is a very interactive process and there's a lot of education involved. Finally, we have the problem, we have a potential solution. Sometimes I come back, I build a proof of concept or a demo for the customer to really convince them that what they want to do is possible in the AWS cloud and they feel confident to build it on AWS. So this is a lot of fun. I get to build things in the console. I get to experiment. And this is one of the most enjoyable things about my job. And through this process, we get what we call the technical win. So we convince the technical stakeholders that their project is technically possible and they are on board to building this on the cloud. Now, so maybe the customer agrees, they're very happy, they start to build on AWS, but my job's not done there. My job's not over yet. So at AWS, solutions architects aim to become long-term trusted advisors for their customers. So after they deploy their first application or workload, maybe in a year, in 6 months, I'll talk to them again, see how they can continue on their security journey, see what security tools that they could use or would benefit them. Now, the second big thing I do is education. So a lot of my work goes to educating and enabling customers at scale. This could be in the form of one-to-one or one-to-many workshops, webinars, and events. For example, before this, I was at a customer site. I was giving them a workshop on some of our AWS security services. That's a lot of fun. A part of that is also building workshops that customers use as well. Importantly, for education and enablement, I don't just teach other people. I also need to spend time learning and growing my own skills as well. So this involves building on my own, reading blog posts, getting more certifications, things like that. Now, the third thing I do is scaling, right? So there's only so many solutions architects in AWS, but there are many, many, many more customers. So the third thing I do is to come up with ways to scale my ability to reach customers. This could come in the form of writing blog posts, creating workshops, or coming up with other forms of repeatable content. Internally, AWS also believes in one of our leadership principles is to hire and develop the best. I work to enable or develop other non-specialist essays about security and mentor other Amazonians in their career as well. Finally, my last main responsibility is to provide customer feedback and requirements to the service teams. So at AWS, we are customer obsessed, and all our services and features are built based on customer feedback. Everything we build is because a customer either asked for it or we discern that customers were asking for it, but they didn't know how to ask for it yet. So since SAs like me are in the field speaking to customers all the time, we are the people bringing that voice to the customer and these feature requests back to the service teams to help them build new services or features that customers are asking for. So I just want to take a quick pause. I've gone through quite a lot with regards to secure solutions architecture. Any questions in the chat? All right. All good, cool. Oh, we have a question. Is your dog a cybersecurity risk? Yes, if he could read English, he would be a cybersecurity risk, but thank God he cannot read English. So he can't read all the confidential things that I work on. A good question though. All right, no questions, all of you are good. So, yeah, don't worry, Anna, I will get to that really soon. But first, apart from solutions architecture, there are lots of careers in and outside of the security space, right? So within the security space, you have security architecture. So this is very similar to the job I do, where I create architectures that other people implement. So a security architecture is someone who does that like in-house. So for a bank. So let's say, for example, we have a bank and they want to move to the AWS cloud. They have an in-house security architect to ensure that the architecture they build on AWS is secure. Okay. Now, the second one is a security engineer. So security architecture and security engineer sound a bit similar, but they're quite different. So an architect kind of lays the foundation. It's like a real world architect. They draw the building, they come up with the plan, whereas a security engineer is the one with their hands on the keyboard, coding the guardrails or the tools or the automation that makes security possible. This is a much more developer focused role, and it's definitely another option. Now, security analyst is another exciting one, right? So security analyst is someone who sits in a security operations center, and it could do a few things, right? In a larger company, they might have lots of threat intelligence feeds. So these threat intelligence feeds are basically data streams about potentially risky IP addresses or potentially risky threat vectors, and they analyze and see whether this vector or this threat is going to affect the business. That's one angle. The other angle is a more of security operations person. They sit and watch a security incident and event management tool. They basically stare at a screen of a bunch of different security events, and then they try and discern whether there's any risk of compromise or if there's any security incident or event happening, right? Now, fourth, incident responder. This is the fun one, right? So let's say a security analyst has detected something. Something's wrong. And then this is when an incident responder will be activated. They will go down and respond to the incident, fix whatever problem there is, and restore the environment back to where it was. After that is penetration tester. This is what we call the red team. So a penetration tester is like after you build your app, after you build your system, you hand it over to the penetration tester who will try and break into it. And from there, determine how secure your application or website is. And finally, we have sales. Sales people like me, we sell security products. It can get quite technical, but don't worry about that. It's a lot of fun, and a career in sales is definitely something that people don't think about enough. So that is kind of the security, more cybersecurity side. On the right side is the less cybersecurity side. But before that, we do have a question from Jamilo. Is solution architect associate different from associate security solutions architect? So associate solution architect associate is like an associate solutions architect. Basically, that's a generalist solutions architect. I am a specialist solutions architect, so I call myself a security solutions architect, or you can call it a security specialist solutions architect. Title's not that important here. Okay. Do you need a computer related course degree? No, and I'll get onto that. But in the meantime, good questions, keep them coming. So moving on to the right, we have a bunch of not really cybersecurity focused ones, but as I'll explain more later, you don't need to be, we don't need more cybersecurity professionals. We need more professionals doing cybersecurity. So developer, everyone knows, develop the code. Cloud architect is like a security architect, except instead of focusing on the security piece, they focus more broadly. A site reliability engineer. Now, these I don't work with as often, but these are people who essentially, from what I know, build things like DevOps pipelines and use infrastructure as code to ensure a strong architecture, infrastructure. Then we have HR, human resources, legal, and compliance. So regardless, so I'm just going to go to the next slide really quick. So regardless of what role you are, at AWS, we believe security is for everyone. So no matter what you're doing now, I'm very happy to see lots of students in the chat, or in the future, we need you to do cybersecurity. And you don't need to be a cybersecurity professional to do cybersecurity. We need you as a, let me go back, as a developer, as a cloud architect, site reliability engineer, HR, legal, compliance, to do cybersecurity in each of your jobs as well. So you might be wondering, how on earth do these, at least HR, legal, compliance, do security, right? So let me walk it through. Developers, most important, write code securely, write secure code. Take the time and don't be lazy, write code securely. Cloud architect, a lot of times, smaller companies, they won't have a dedicated security architect. As a cloud architect, what you need to do is make sure that your architecture is built in a secure way without the need for a security architect to come in. Site reliability engineer, very similar principles. Now for HR, legal, and compliance, security is a comprehensive thing. It's not just about the application or the tools, it's about the people involved. So let's say for HR, right? As a HR person, if you do become one in the future, you need to make sure that your onboarding and offboarding processes follow and ensure cybersecurity. So let's say, for example, you are offboarding a person or someone's leaving the company, moving somewhere else. As a HR person, you want to make sure that their access to their console is revoked, that if they were the one who had the root account, although that's not best practice, that there's a proper handover procedure. When you're hiring people, do the right checks to ensure that they are secure from a cyber perspective. And from a legal and compliance side, the cloud has, with the cloud, there's a lot of different new legal and compliance requirements. So as legal and compliance, you can take the time to get more familiar with them so that when you begin to build, you can, the cloud team, you are keeping up with the cloud team. Okay, we have another question. Do you use any CRM software to manage your customer relationships? Yes, in AWS, we use a CRM. It's Salesforce here. Yeah, it's Salesforce. A lot of companies use Salesforce. Okay, cool. Any other questions? So a lot of career options. The reason why I want to put it all out there is because I want you to know that apart from solutions architect, there's 10,000 other things you can be doing both inside and outside of a cybersecurity space. And regardless of whether you are inside or outside the cybersecurity space, we need you to do cybersecurity. Now, I think the question on everyone's minds is, what was my path to a security solutions architect? So there we go. So there's the fun part. 2019, I graduated. I graduated from the University of Cambridge in the UK. I did politics and sociology. So I didn't do anything related to cybersecurity. I didn't do anything related to security or even computing. I was a politics and sociology grad, humanities grad, right? I came back to Singapore. I worked in sales for a bit. I was in recruitment. So this is where I really saw the whole wide world of what jobs were out there. I recruited for sales and marketing people, very similar to what I do now. And eventually I realized that I should just go into sales in a tech company. So in 2020, I joined AWS as the Marketing Response Center rep. So in other companies, it will be called a inbound lead development rep. But for you, it's for simplicity's sake, it's just sales. All right, I used to sell the cloud. And while I was selling the cloud and calling customers and asking them if they wanted to use the cloud, I realized I actually really enjoyed the technical piece. So as a marketing response center rep or an MRC rep, one of the requirements is that I needed to get my cloud practitioner certification. So while doing that, I realized that I quite enjoyed it. I quite enjoyed learning it. I quite enjoyed the principle. I quite enjoyed the cloud itself. Then after that, I got my associate solutions architect certification. I realized I still enjoyed it. And that was when I started thinking about moving into a solutions architect role, right? So in AWS, we have this program called TechU. So TechU is a program targeted at early career professionals. So most of you here, or nearly all of you, will be eligible. And what it aims to do, it aims to provide a 6-month foundation course in the cloud, where we go through very fundamental IT concepts. And there'll be, apart from the classroom training, there's a lot of role playing, there's a lot of mock presentations, and it ends off with a big capstone project where we built something, right? And after that is 6 months of being in the field to learn. Yes, thank you for putting that job. Yes. So I was in TechU. I really enjoyed it. I remember the first conversation. I remember when I first heard of the program, I asked one of the solutions architects who architected the program whether you need to be technical to do it. And the answer is no. You don't need to. You don't need a technical degree to get into TechU. And on top of that, I've also interviewed a lot of candidates for TechU. And I can tell you that what we look out for, of course, some level of technical skill, especially related to the cloud, is important. But more important is the learn and be curious and the hunger to learn. So I threw my hat in, I tried out for TechU. I managed to get in. So in 2021, I moved from a sales role into TechU. I did 6 months of training, and within AWS, at some point before we finished our training, they said there is one headcount open for a security specialist, and I put my hand up to do it. And that is how I stumbled into the security field. And that's why in 2021 graduated TechU, and I became a security solutions architect. So this QR code links to my LinkedIn, I think. So you can go there if you want to add me. Let me see here. Okay, we have a question from Rodney. What's the most powerful SIEM for security analyst? That's a very loaded question. I have my favorites, but I don't think I have my favorites. But the answer, and I was actually asked this when I was on a fireside chat on Wednesday, and I'll give the same answer. It's not the best answer, but it's the right answer, is that it really depends. So at AWS, we never advocate people to buy any products or any tools that they don't know how to use. It is very possible to spend $10 billion on security tools and services and end up with the same low level of security because your team doesn't know how to use it. So the best SIEM or the best security tools for your team or for your security analyst is the tool that you know how to use and you know how to get the best value out of. Which is why when customers get started on AWS from a security perspective, we always recommend the 3 big services apart from the foundation: Config, Guard, Duty, Security Hub. They are cost effective and customers get value out of them very quickly. Once they're very used to that, they've grown out of it, they can look towards a partner solution. In the SIEM space, there's quite a lot of different options. There's Splunk, there's Sumo Logic, there's a few others I don't remember. But yeah, that is the answer. It depends. Okay, cool. Keep the questions coming. Love it. All right, so I think a lot of you are gonna ask, how did I move from a non-technical role to a technical role? So first, this should be the other way around, my bad. First, I just wanna say we need to avoid the idea of technical versus non-technical, right? There's no clear dichotomy, and there is no clear distinction. And when I was in AWS, everyone is technical. It's just a question to what extent. So in AWS, we have sales reps and marketing reps who are technical as well. Like what I mentioned earlier, we need more professionals to do cybersecurity. So if you end up in sales or end up in marketing, you end up in HR, you can still be technical, and that will be very helpful in your career, right? Okay, so that's out of the way. Okay, so how did I, so I think the bigger question is how someone like me with nearly no security background could go into security. So to become a solutions architect, there were a lot of technical aspects I needed to catch up on. So I first closed the gap by getting many AWS certifications. So I first got Cloud Practitioner, Solutions Architect Associate, and Developer Associate certs before moving into TechU. And then after I moved into TechU, I got the SysOps Associate, what was it? Solutions Architect Pro, DevOps Pro, Security Specialty, and Networking Specialty. Yeah. So I did a lot of certs, and that was that's very helpful for the theoretical foundation. Certs are great at teaching you what is theoretically possible in the cloud. Now, the next thing that I really did was to experiment on the AWS console. So the best way to learn, and I experienced this myself, is to build something. So in AWS, I'm very privileged to have internal accounts that I can use for experimentation that I don't pay for. So that was really helpful to learn. I know for you guys, you probably don't have the same privilege, but I would recommend just starting a project, building something in the cloud, and like spending $10 a month on your learning, you know? As long as you keep it secure, and that's a different conversation, turn on MFA, the usual stuff. I think $10 a month for your learning is a great investment to put in. So what was it? I think, like, for example, one great example I have is I went to Reinforce earlier this year. So Reinforce is our annual security conference organized by AWS. This year was in Boston. I went there because I built the demo that I wanted to show off, that was selected to be shown off. And the process of building the demo, getting it all working, the console, I learned so much more than all the certs and everything could teach me. All right. So after TechU, I became a security solutions architect team, right? I became a security solutions architect. I didn't have much knowledge of security. And the fun thing is the security community is very peculiar and very welcoming. Let me just go back to this slide real quick. So as you can see here, there's lots of different career options, both within and outside. And the amazing thing about security is so broad, right? So I have two schoolmates from Cambridge who are also in security. And the three of us don't do anything that overlaps. And that's really interesting. I think one is more of a red teamer, a pen tester. The other one builds internal tools, and I'm an architect. So it's a lot of fun. All right. So where was I? Yes. So there's a lot of different resources you can tap on. There's a lot of different angles you can approach it from the application angle, from the architecture angle, from the penetration tester angle. For me, what I did was I spoke to my manager, and my manager recommended I read the CISSP study guide. So this is the Certified Information Security something professional. I can't remember what it stands for. It's basically an exam, but they have a study guide. You don't need to take the exam, just read the study guide. It'll give you a very good foundation of the fundamentals of security. And this is where I really love security. I listened to this podcast called Risky Business. So there are a bunch of cybersecurity podcasts. I like Risky Business the most. You can find it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, I think. It covers cybersecurity news. The hosts are very opinionated, so that's just something to keep in mind. But it covers cybersecurity news, and just immersing myself into that whole environment was a great way to learn all the different terminologies, all the different things that go on in the space. It was a lot of fun. And what's the most fun, right, apart from it being constantly changing, is that it is always attacking and defending. And I think that push and pull, red team versus blue team, is a lot of fun for me. And the next thing is to speak to customers. So I had a great team which guided me along as I spoke to customers. So as I speak to customers, I get an understanding of the different problems they have. And then I try and build solutions. And in that process, I learned a lot. And my team was then mentoring me every step of the way. And finally, like what I said, you got to learn through building. It is the best way to learn. So like what I said, This is my path to becoming a security solutions architect. It is not the only path. There are lots of other paths out there. And on that note, here are some helpful resources. So AWS Security Fundamentals is a free virtual self-paced course which you can take and learn some AWS security fundamentals. Security Baseline Clinic, this is one of the workshops I made. If you are building in your own account, please make sure you secure your account using these steps. I do not want to see you suffer. I want to ensure that you build very safely. Okay, then AWS workshops. This is why I said helps with building. So now that is really it for all my slides. Thank you. You can, I believe this is still my LinkedIn, but I would be happy to answer questions, and there are a lot of questions. Let me see if there's anything. Okay, Facebook has no questions, which is fine. All right, so let's go. Trina asks, how long did it take for you to get your first AWS cert? And was it easier to complete your certs after that? So cloud practitioner isn't too hard. I think I took about 2 months to get it. And then after that, it does get easier, especially with regards to the associate, especially because they kind of overlap, right? So after you've done solutions architect associate, you do developer associate, there's a lot of overlapping concepts. Then you do sysops associate, then some more overlapping concepts. Then you do your solutions architect professional, and it just builds on the three associate certs. So it does get easier, I would say, to complete the certs as you go along because you begin to learn more. Okay, good question. Mark asks, what do you enjoy most in working at AWS? Great question. So a few things. The first is it's a culture of builders. So we are given a lot of freedom to build anything as long as it helps the customer. So for example, the security baseline clinic here, I built that by myself. I didn't need to ask my manager for approval. I just said I wanted to build it, got my manager's opinions, went to build it, ran some experiments, and it's out there helping customers. So I really like how fast, how decentralized it is. I can build my own thing. And secondly, I enjoy talking to customers. I'm an extrovert. And when I was graduating uni, the only thing I said is that I wanted to work a job where I spoke to people. Okay, let me scroll up. Okay, Leonard asks, how to have/gain these AWS certifications? Well, Leonard, I'm sure one of the Siklab team will be happy to put in the AWS training and certifications page. You have to learn it. There are courses online. To gain it, you have to go and pay a bit of money and book a course. Sorry, book the exam. It's a multiple choice exam. It's not hard. But I think there are discounted ways. I'm not too clear on that.
Yeah, and also to add on that,
Yes.
Kevin, at AWS Siklab Pilipinas, we also give our scholars like vouchers, discount vouchers to get certified after their training. So that's a really good opportunity for them as well. So they don't have to spend the full amount in getting AWS certified.
That's good. The full amount is too expensive. It's not too expensive. The full amount it costs some money. I wish it was cheaper. Okay, then okay, Jericho says, which skills are important for cybersecurity professionals? So great question. One is learn and be curious, because the field changes very quickly. You need to learn as much as you just need to keep learning. I think the second is so the soft skill. Second is technical skills. You just understand fundamental coding. You don't need to know all the languages at a very high level, but just understand. Like I only know Python at an intermediate level. Yeah, I can't code an app, so it's just so that it helps you in the console and helps you really understand things better. Okay, let me scroll down. Okay, what is your preparation to get an AWS certificate? I use Tutorial Dojo. I think that's the best. Philippine company too, so that's great. Tutorial Dojo has the best practice exams, and then learning is kind of, there's a lot of different options. Tutorial Dojo has its own course, I think. I just use A Cloud Guru. Let's see here. How much for CISSP cert? Great question. CISSP is much more expensive than an AWS cert, I believe, and you need 5 years of security experience to be eligible. So I don't recommend that. Not now, at least. Can you suggest? Okay, so Aaron asks, can you suggest websites or forums for us to have an idea of testing or using the AWS console? So I know some places like A Cloud Guru gives you a sandbox environment, but I would highly recommend just setting up an AWS account and starting with your console. There is a free tier that you can try to keep to. John asked, does AWS work just setting up and figuring out the cloud infrastructure? Great question, John. This is why I talk about the shared responsibility model. So AWS doesn't set up or configure any cloud infrastructure for you. When you set up your AWS console, literally it's a blank slate. You can do anything you want. Nothing is pre-configured for you. So you need to ensure that you're configuring everything in a secure way. Do you need the AWS security specialization to apply for a security position? No, you don't need that, but it does help. But I think more helpful is actually having experience building in the cloud. Okay, hi Kevin, was there a customer you encountered? They have an existing cloud infrastructure and they wanted to move out and transfer the AWS cloud. That's from Jamilo. So yes, Jamilo, we have customers who move from other clouds to AWS, and part of my job is to help them make that migration safely as well. Jordan asks, what are the advantages of AWS versus in-house hosting? Now that is a terrific question, and let me just answer this. All right, so there are 5 key benefits, but I'll only touch on a few of them because those are the ones that I think are most important. The first one is it gives you more time to innovate. So it increases your agility. And why is this? Is because AWS handles all the data center infrastructure for you. I don't know if you've ever gone into a data center or even set up your own server at home. It is a pain to do. It's a pain to set up. You do your networking, you do your routers, you do your you have to ensure it's cooled. If the hard disk or solid state drive start failing, you need to replace it. You have to have security guards to protect the data center. It's a lot of time and effort from our customers' part. So by building on AWS, the first thing you do is you get rid of undifferentiated heavy lifting. And you give that all to AWS. AWS handles that for you. So your team and your company can focus on the business value, right? That's the first big one. The second one is scalability. Let's say you start a new social networking website, right? At first you have 10 users, you have a small server sitting under your table and you earn like $5 a month from it. Suddenly your website goes viral and you have 10,000 people viewing it. If you were doing it in-house, you'll need to provision the servers. And if you are in a company, buying, racking, and stacking servers takes time and the upfront cost is very high. So let's say, for example, your upfront cost for buying servers to handle 10,000 people is $10,000. Let's say 2 weeks from now, for some reason, your website is no longer popular. It goes back to 100 people. You've now bought $10,000 worth of server equipment and most of it is idle. So AWS provides the scalability and the elasticity so you can grow demand as it grows and it can shrink it when it goes down. It saves you money. And on top of that, it's pay as you go. So you don't need to spend $10,000 up front. You just spend $100, $10 a month. And so you spend $100 for that 10,000 people. After the peak goes down, you spend $10 because you downsize your servers. Okay, and the last one I want to talk about today is going global. So if you have a website and you want to reach customers around the world, let's say, for example, you have a website and people from the US, East Coast are using it. The latency for a server in the Philippines or in Singapore to the East Coast US is quite high. Whereas AWS, we have global infrastructure. Our infrastructure sits around the world. You have tools that allow you to put content closer to users so that they have low latency. So just a few high level answers. There's a lot more, but for the sake of time, I could talk about this all day. I will keep it there. Ruben asks, is it hard to become a cybersecurity professional? No. So going back to this, right? 2 things. First, we need more professionals doing cybersecurity. So if you're a developer, software developer, a DevOps engineer, a HR, whatever you are, you need to do cybersecurity. All right. Where is it hard to go into the cybersecurity professional? Like you want to be a security architect, or you want to be someone on this left side, moving from this right side to this left side. I would say if you're doing security here already, it is not hard to move to this side because you already have all the skills. Okay, Jean says, asks, why do AWS certificates have expiration dates? Because at AWS, the pace of innovation is very fast. So I believe expiration date is about 3 years. AWS 3 years ago and AWS now is very different. There's a lot of new services. So the reason why they expire is because you need to be recertified and make sure that you have all the up-to-date knowledge. At least that's my opinion. I don't know what training and certification's actual opinion is. Let's see here. Is there an exam just for AWS security path? Aaron asks, yes. Aaron, you can go straight for the AWS security. You can do this. You can do this. There's a bunch of other trainings online available from AWS. Then just go take the security specialty. But I would recommend just going the normal path because it's way more employable, and there's security is for everyone, and security is our #1 priority. So security is integrated into all the other certs as well. So as a fresh graduate interested in a career in the cloud, any tips on how to stand out against fellow applicants? Ask Romeo. My tip is to go build something. Just go build something in the cloud, get hands-on with the console, build a simple app, a simple website, a simple mobile app. That is at AWS, that's what we really like, actual real use cases or real examples of you using something, using the things you've learned to build something, because at AWS, we're all builders. How to get AWS certifications and how much? I think the Siklab team, actually, let me do it now. Find that link. AWS training and certification. So here you go. I'm gonna put it in there for you. There we go. Okay, is it hard to get into AWS? So Brian, I would say we have a high bar because we hire and develop the best, but I would say that don't be afraid of applying, just apply. And if you don't get it in this round, apply some more. When I first graduated, I applied to AWS and Amazon for a bunch of different roles, and I didn't get it. And it was only after coming back to Singapore, I managed to get in through the grace of God. What is the next step for you in terms of career progression in AWS? Trina asks. So good question. What I love about AWS is that they let you drive your own career, which is how I moved from marketing response center. This was literally in the marketing team to the solutions architecture team. So I recently got promoted to I recently got promoted to becoming a solutions architect, which is why I'm no longer an associate security solutions architect. So the next step is to become a senior security solutions architect. But if I one day felt I didn't like to be a solutions architect, or I wanted to be a generalist, I could go in that path as well. From solutions architecture, the path is quite broad. What is the interesting part as a solution architect? Ronald asks. So the interesting part, going back to here, like what I said, the first one is speaking to customers. I love talking to customers. I love solving their problems and building solutions for them. And then from there, the other one is with the scaling piece. I like writing content and making content, and I like how AWS just lets me do that. Do I use Linux or just Windows or Mac? I have no reason to use Linux for now. I did touch Kali Linux for a bit when I was playing with pen testing, but for now I use Mac for work, and there's a Windows computer behind me which I use for gaming and Windows apps. Okay, Loretto asks, what's the salary expectation? I don't know. I only if you talk to me privately, I can tell you how much it is in Singapore, but I don't know what's in the Philippines. What's the difference in solution cloud architect and security cloud architect? So main difference is that in AWS, a generalist solutions architect handles all our different things, right? So compute, databases, storage, security, like every different domain of AWS, and generalist solutions architect needs to know. and then maybe they pick 1 or 2 areas they go very deep in. And they are the first point of contact for a customer when they have a technical problem. Oh, sorry, when there's a technical experience needs to be, technical expertise needs to come in for the account. For me as a security specialist, I'm only called in to handle the security piece. So let's say account, so the customer maybe wants to ask, how do I federate Microsoft Active Directory on-prem to AWS? Maybe the the generalist solutions architect doesn't know the answer to that. That's when I'm called in, and I'll answer that question because I'm supposed to have very deep knowledge in security. Okay. Then Ryan asks, how many solutions architects are there in a company? Well, it really depends on the company size, right? So at AWS, we have a lot. In some smaller companies, there may be 1 or 2. In banks, there's also a lot. So it really depends on the company and how involved they are on the cloud. Do I have a cert in pen testing? Jilma asks. No. So how I heard it described to me is that becoming a pen tester is like becoming an Olympic athlete. There is a lot of training and there is a lot of practice, and you need to keep your skills sharp. I unfortunately do not have the time for that. My colleague is like a former pen tester, and my schoolmate is now a pen tester. Which resources can you recommend to build lab in AWS for security purposes? So I'm not sure if I understand the question, Emmanuel. You can build an AWS account. You can use an AWS account, or if you're talking about you want to explore security labs, here, AWS workshops. There are some security ones in there. All right, Joffrey asks, am I Korean? No, I'm not. I am Singaporean. All right, so let me see. Oh, wait. If there is a breach or issue in security, is there an SLA to be followed or resolved by the issue? How is it done in real project or work? Great question, Loretto. So let's say you're working for a company and there's a security incident. Your company will have an SLA with its end customers or its internal customers on an SLA. So maybe it says that your website is promised to be up 99.9% of the time, right? So that is the SLA from the customer end. Internally, apart from that SLA, there's what we call mean time to detect and mean time to remediate. So if there's any incident, we want to detect it very quickly and want to remediate it very quickly. So those are the metrics that we rely on in real work. Great question. And yeah, all right. So let me check Facebook. Any questions there floating around? If not, all right, all good. Okay, thank you so much for your questions. I love all of them. If you have any more questions, feel free to add me on LinkedIn and drop me a message. This is my LinkedIn. If not, back to you, Atcha.
Thank you so much, Kevin, for your time and especially for sharing your journey to becoming an associate security solutions architect. Again, guys, don't forget to scan that QR code right there to get in touch with Kevin. And if you have any further questions, you can definitely reach out to him there. And all right, guys, so we look forward to seeing you again on our free events, especially on our next episode of the Siklab Igniter series. And again, don't forget to follow my socials, Atcha Abe on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube. I'll share those links again. So you can definitely stay updated for more free events, especially in technology and beyond. And with that as well, let me share everyone. Here you go. All right, you can again, I'll be sharing my screen right now of my socials and also the content that I do. As what we have learned from Kevin, you can there's a lot of opportunities in technology. And I also believe and I agree to that you don't need to remember everything or study all of the fields in technology. As long as you have the fundamentals, you're able to practice those, put it into use cases, meaning you create passion projects, especially if you don't have any clients yet. And then from there, you will grow, you will learn, and you'll get that opportunity for sure. And especially if you're interested in technology, go ahead and learn. I have an introduction to cybersecurity or information security on my YouTube channel. You can also learn from that as well. And of course, from what I can see right now, you all are very engaging and very active for tonight. And I'm looking forward for your active participation in our future events. And with that, I would like to bring back Kevin in our virtual stage, and I want to take this opportunity to invite everyone for a photo opportunity with our speaker. All right, I also want to see you guys in your camera. All right, okay, hi everyone. Okay, I'm just waiting for our tech team to give a signal. Let us know when you're ready. Give your best smile. So everyone, okay. All right, are we ready? Okay, thumbs up. All right, bring your best smiles. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, next page. Just keep on smiling, guys. Smile. All right. Great. Okay. And last one. All right. I think maybe in our next episodes, we can create a CIS post. But all right, guys, thank you so much for spending your Friday evening with us. And of course, if you're looking forward to get your e-certificate, you can go ahead and send us your feedback here. Let me also send the link. You can scan this QR code right here. It is go.edukasyon.ph SIS feedback episode 2. Again, it is go.edukasyon.ph SIS feedback 2. Let us also know your feedback and comments for Kevin's talk for today. And if you have any also further questions, you can also leave that there. And again, for those who are expecting their e-certificates, everyone will receive it registered in our Zoom room. So only those who are registered in our Zoom room will receive our e-certificate. Again, please wait 7 to 10 business days and make sure to check your inbox or spam email as well. So again, don't forget to check your inbox or spam email, and we highly appreciate your patience in waiting for your certificate. Again, don't forget to answer the feedback form to receive your e-certificates. And if you're very excited to learn more about AWS, aside from the field of security, we have a lot of upcoming events for the rest of the month. And an upcoming event before we end the month, we have Chaos Engineering with Paul Sears tomorrow from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. So don't forget to head over to Angular Philippines Facebook page. They will be streaming the event there. This is in partnership with them, and we'll be talking about chaos engineering. So this also, like, I believe most of you just heard this right now. What is chaos engineering? It seems really interesting, and I definitely believe that we will learn a lot. So don't forget to head over to Angular PH tomorrow. Again, it's from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. And also, don't forget to attend our weekly events at AWS Siklab Pilipinas every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. We would like to thank not only our speaker, Kevin, but our co-presenters as well. Thank you so much, AWS and AWS Siklab Pilipinas, for making these events possible. And that, guys, ends our first Siklab Igniter series, the introduction to cybersecurity. The journey to becoming a security solutions architect at AWS. Again, I am Atcha Abe, your host. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you again soon. Bye, guys.
The main thing we're working for is to enable digital document transformation for our customers. It's hard to plan ahead and get enough resources in place before that demand exists and to justify that. And by using AWS, we're much more able to react to the customer demand in the moment and scale our business as the customers scale, and that works much better for our bottom line. Once we looked at what AWS had to offer and understood how to use the tools like CloudFormation, we took our environment provisioning from a couple days cycle to 15 minutes. Our security goals at Conga are to make sure that our customer information stays private, that our own internal information stays secure, and that we are enabling development and we're enabling the business to move forward without putting up roadblocks. We want to be part of the team. We don't want to be a roadblock or a speed bump to anything that the business wants to do. We want to enable them to run as fast as they can. We're SOC 2 Type 2 certified, and our auditors always want to see the information that allows them to validate that we're following those rules and doing what we should be doing to maintain that. With AWS's tools and ThreatStack combined, it's very easy for us to produce a report for them and show them the controls that we have in place and make the attestation that we're doing these things properly. Where we found it to be really powerful is when we enable AWS tools alongside ThreatStack so that we can have a single pane of glass view into our environment and really understand how we're leveraging AWS. Are we following our best practices and AWS's best practices there? And then use the additional information that ThreatSec provides to inform that and help us move forward.